Hello students, welcome to Institute of Engineering and Technology. Here myself Mr. Jaiswal Kishan from Civil Engineering Department, and we are learning all about earthquake engineering. Let's start our today's session. Now in today's session we will be starting up with the examples. Before that, let's have a look methods of improving ductility. So how we can improve the ductility in the particular structure. So these are the various points which need to be understood for improving ductility. So the steps are related to the which we have learned in design philosophy module as well as in the this ductile detailing module. Let's have a look what it says. That number one, structural layout should be simple and regular. As this we have learned in our design philosophy module, it should be simple and regular to perform good during the earthquake. Offsets of the beam and column offset between floors must be avoided, like as floating column must be avoided. Now beam should be designed as a WRC beam. So what will happen that compression reinforcement should be provided in the beam. So as W reinforcement beam have both side reinforcement in the compression zone as well as in the tension zone. So it will improve the ductility. In RCC frame structure, design of beam and column shall be such that inelasticity remains only in beam and column remain elastic. What it says that column should be more flexible as compared to the beam, like as strong column, weak beam theory. Sufficient shear reinforcement should be provided. The shear reinforcement in the particular beam also should need to be provided so as to have shear strength better than the flexural strength, and no ductile shear failure. Non-ductile shear failure can be avoided. Now, to increase the ductility, members should have closed stirrups. So, in the column, we are providing stirrups at the particular location. So, we have seen that clause related to the spatial confinement. So, at there also, and as well as in the beam near to the face of the column at the distance 2D, we are providing the more stirrups for the better confinement. Splices and the bar anchorage should be sufficient enough to prevent bond failure. Obviously, this must be the anchorage of this splices and bar should be sufficient to prevent bond failure. What it says that beam column junction should be monolithic. It act as a single unit. It should be such design and detail and cast in such a manner that it behave, the beam and as well as column behave in a monolithic way. Footing band, plinth band, sill band, lintel band, etc. should be provided in the structure. Portion between footing beam and plinth beam should be covered with brick masonry. In frame structure, shear wall should be provided near the staircase. This is the prime importance that this is the minimum requirement that in the frame structure for more than G plus 3, like as G plus 7, G plus 10, G plus 15. Now shear wall around the lift wall and around it we are providing staircase also. So it is important. Beam should be designed as URS, under reinforced section. So it will be having a ductile failure. In that under reinforced section, the steel will reach its capacity first before the concrete. So what will happen that steel will guide us, or say it will give us time to warning. It will give us the warning to evacuate the building. Junction of beam, column and slab should be strong, obviously. Now load is transferred from slab to beam, so that junction need to be strong. From beam to column load is transferred, so that junction need to be strong. And then column to the foundation, that junction need to be strong. Otherwise, this smooth movement of the forces won't be possible. Instead of load bearing structure, frame structure should be designed to increase the ductility of the structure. Obviously, we have seen that in Bhuj earthquake, the major of the masonry structures fail and this frame structure survived. So we should avoid these load bearing structures and have frame structures. So this was just a steps to keep in mind that how we can improve the ductility. Now let's start with our example. Now in the exam they have asked such kind of question that draw in detail typical qualitative reinforcement detailing of two-span reinforcement concrete continuous rectangular beam of dimension 230 mm cross 500 mm as per IS 1390:2016 ductile detail provision. So now we have to just provide a sketch as a draw, and also we have to specify the criteria of ductile detailing as per this code. Now we have given the dimension. Now 230 cross 500 mm is a cross section of the rectangular beam. So this is my width and this is my depth. This is my overall depth. So now here size of the beam is 230 mm cross 500 mm, which is overall. And assuming effective cover is 50 mm, so D will be 500 minus 50 is 450 mm. So this step you have studied in design of structures. Now let's see what we need to do. So now on IS 1390:2016, page number 7, the criteria are given for close spacing of link. Now look, in the beam there are two kind of reinforcement, which is longitudinal reinforcement as well as the transverse reinforcement. So this this horizontal which are going is my longitudinal reinforcement, and longitudinal reinforcement you have studied in this called design of structures. In that singly reinforcement beam and doubly reinforcement beam. So by the moment, with the help of moment and forces, we can find out how much area of steel required, and according to that we provide certain number of bars to satisfy it. So particularly in this sum we are not going through this longitudinal reinforcement. We are just focusing on the ductile detailing part only. So this longitudinal reinforcement comes after the design of the particular beam as per design of structures subject, or say that singly and reinforcement beam and doubly reinforcement beam theory. So right now we are just not focusing on this longitudinal bars. We are just focusing on this, what it says, this transverse reinforcement, which is stirrups. So let's have a look to it. So we are referring to this clause 6.3.5 in that closely spaced of link. So we are referring this criteria. So look, for the particular distance, this 2D. Now look, this is my beam, this is my clear span. So I will be focusing on this stirrup. So up to distance 2D, what are the requirements? Here it is given: spacing of the link over the length 2D, either end of the beam shall not exceed, these are the criteria. Either end of the beam means this is my beam, near the face of the column, up to distance 2D from both the sides, the spacing should not exceed. So there are 3 points. One is D by 4. Not exceed means it should be less than equals to. So less than equals to D by 4, our D is 450. 450 upon 4, it is coming out to be 112.5 mm. Second is, this has been updated in amendment. So you have to refer amendment also. So 6 times the diameter of the smallest longitudinal bar. So I will be showing what is the smallest longitudinal bar, and should be less than equals to 100 mm. Now look what you need to do in the exam. I will be explaining this clause. Now look here. This is the kind of sketch you need to draw in the exam. So look, this is my column. This is my column, and here my beam is going. So right now, as I said, we are focusing on only on the stirrups part. Longitudinal reinforcement will be assumed by ourselves, because right now we are not calculating forces and all. So look, I have assumed, or say I have referred the figure of the book as well. So in that, this is my longitudinal bar. So they have also shown this development length, or say this bend of the bar into the column. So this is one end of the column. You just need to be satisfy the ductile detailing criteria. Just you have to show that this kind of reinforcement can be occurred. So this is bar which is going through and through, and which has been bent up to here. This top bar which is going through and through and has been bent up to over here. Now this distance, as we have studied in the code, which is LD plus 10 times dB. dB is nothing but diameter of the bar, which is longitudinal bar, which is the largest one in the beam. This is as per the clause. Now these are my assumed values of the column. Width is 350 mm, and this is also I have assumed for the width of column. Now the depth of the beam is given, which is overall is 500 mm, and we have found out the effective depth also. Now look, here they have assumed this bar as 6 bars of 16 dia over here. At the top here 2 full 20 mm diameter bar is going. Also extra top bars has been provided for say flexure over here at the bottom, and for here at the top for shear for reversal stresses they have provided extra bars at the top. Now look here at the top, which were going 220 through and through, extra 3 bar is also provided, so it is coming out to be 520 mm diameter bar, which is over here. So look, this is my cross section, in which over the top they have put 620 mm diameter. You can assume whatever the number of or say diameter of bar you need to provide it at top and bottom. We just need to satisfy this stirrups criteria. We are just focusing on stirrups only right now. So look in the figure, this XX section has been taken out over here. So this is kind of typical sketch you need to be drawn, and you have to satisfy certain criteria, like as look this as DB. You have to show also this stirrups hook. So we have learned that 135-degree hook we need to provide, and the criteria for hook is nothing but 8 times DB or 75 mm. So just criteria has been written, not calculated the values. So we just need to write down this criteria. Minimum 8 dia stirrups has to be provided. So minimum 8 dia has been took. Now look how this calculation has been carried out. So this is my calculation as per the clauses. So this we have carried out, and 6 times diameter of smallest longitudinal bar. So whatever the value of longitudinal bar you have assumed, right now here it is showing 20 dia, 20 dia, 16 dia and 16 dia. So minimum is 16 dia, so I have put 6 into 16, it is coming out to be 96 mm, and another is 100 mm. So it should not exceed of these 3 values. So from these 3 the minimum is coming out to be 96. So I have provided 8 dia bars of hook at 75 mm center to center distance for 2D. So what is my 2D? D is nothing but this 450. So 2 into 450 is 900 mm. So from the face of the column up to 900 distance, we need to provide the spacing of 75 mm. So therefore I am providing 8 dia hooks at the rate 75 mm center to center. Hook is nothing but my stirrups at 75 mm center to center distance. So I have calculated right now for up to distance 2D near the support. So what will be my D? D is here 450 mm. So 2 multiplied by 450 is nothing but 900 mm from the face of the column. So on the both the side, up to distance 900 mm from the face of the column, I will be providing 8 dia of hooks for the distance set between both of the stirrups is 75 mm. So we have calculated for both the ends. Now the remaining at the central part, for that, look in the clause what it says that 6.3.5.1 says that the first link shall be start from the distance 50 mm. So we have to start our first link at the distance 50 mm. So our first link should be start from the 50 mm from the base of the column, and then remaining link has to be provided as per this criteria. And the remaining distance, which is after deducting this 900 plus 900, 1800 mm, the remaining distance, which is nothing but, look, closely spaced link shall be provided over a length equal to 2D on the either side, where the flexural yielding may occur under the earthquake effect. Now after that, over the remaining length, which is nothing but this one, L minus 4D, the length is this, and we have calculated for 2d plus 2d is nothing but 4d. For that distance, the vertical link shall be provided spacing not exceeding d by 2. So in the central part, we have to provide hoop shall not exceed d by 2. Our d is nothing but 450. So 450 by 2 is nothing but 225. So for this 225, I have provided 150 mm center to center, the same dia length. So for the remaining distance, we have to provide this 8 dia at the rate 150 mm center to center. So this is nothing but a simple kind of example. So whenever it asks for detailing of the beam as per the criteria, so we have to focus this stirrups for the ductile detailing, and while this longitudinal bar has to be you have studied during the design of structures subject. So while in actual practice you have to apply all your knowledge like as of design of structures of design of structures as well as this ductile detailing part, and then combining of that knowledge you have to provide the detailing of the structures. So that was all for the beam.